Kids, and then the rest of our place, those locations. I intentionally did not want to take out this guy's face. If you've been to, that means he's been paying before anybody will take this piece of taking a photo of this nature with the oil giant involved with the activity and the money, but include his face. That means he's gone through a lot. Imagine how much is gas? How much is gas now? 1,300, right? But you are in a country where your gas, the same gas, that is the gas that is burning, polluting your environment, polluting the air. Imagine the people living in that location, what will happen to their health? There are even more dangerous images I would have brought up here, that when you see it triggers emotion in you. There are places you go to. There is, if you may want to research, the rural oil field. I think since about 2021 or thereabout, fire has been burning inside the ocean as a result of the carelessness of the multinational oil companies. Nobody's doing anything about it. What happens to the biodiversity in that water? What happens to the fishes? Now, this place, this used to be someone's farmland. This used to be someone's farmland. But as a result of our activities, the land is completely polluted. Tell me what you would do to, remediate this land. It will take a long time. It will take a long time. So before the people, and then there's something that happens here too. That means people are displaced. Alright? And then you talk about water. The water is completely contaminated. Do not forget, if you've been to some locations, there are places that their only source of water is the natural source of the stream, the rivers, and sometimes the ocean. So these people, imagine the people living in this location. And I talked about the loss of biodiversity. This is fish. And it's a place of, what's it called? Livelihood, means of livelihood. The people of the Niger Delta region are known to be fisher folks, especially those ones that are close to the river bank. Even some of us that are not close to the river bank will move to the river bank so that we can survive. And again, some of us that are living in the upland here, can we survive without eating fish? Yes, you can survive, but you, as an Akwa Ibom person, your food, if your soup does not carry fish, it's not complete. No, we enjoy it. Don't see Mama the smile. You understand? The food will never be, you will not kill it. And to a typical Akwa Ibom person, if you cook without periwinkle, if you cook without crayfish, how are you enjoying the meal now? So you find out that as a result of these activities, we lost biodiversity, we lost our means of livelihood. I have been to, I think, that was even one of those settlements, and I had a very pathetic sight that day. We went to for fish sampling for a project. And we waited, the fisher told us that we will be leaving 5 a.m. But we'll come back, say, 4, 5, 6 p.m. in the evening. That we should come. They assured us that we'll get a sample. So we went. Guess what happened? This will went from morning until about 5, 6 p.m. in the evening, and returned with nothing. How do you think that man will react when he gets home? First, the family will be disappointed because there was no money. He didn't come back with money. And so as a man, I don't know how many of us are Christians. The Bible says that any man that cannot provide for his household is what an infidel, right? So how would you feel as a man? You went fishing and then you come back without it. So you see the impact of our activities, how it affects. It's multi-sectoral. Why I pick this picture is that the owners of this picture actually watermarked it Greenpeace, so that you would know that it is not an AI picture or AI image. It's not an edited image. It's not I think there's something they call in political Photoshop. It's not a Photoshop image. These are real-time images. And I know if you've been to Ibom Beach before, you would have passed through this location in Ibom, I think Ikedi Bona Road. Alright? And there's so many other locations like that scattered across. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so we talked about the impact of climate change on childhood education. I have to bring these very pictures, and I will tell you the location. This, the very one on the bottom with student on purple, is a school in River State. In 2020, something devastating happened in Nigeria. It was the worst of flooding we had in the country. So many people lost their farmlands, and by farmland, that means they're not just empty farm plots. People must have cultivated. That means money gone, investment gone. And not just farmland. People lost their lives. Houses. I remember a girl in Akwa Ibom here. She was saving from Akwa Ibom rather. She was saving in Benue State rather. She was saving in Benue State, and she traveled down to Akwa Ibom about that time. She stayed in Akwa when the flood happened, and all her essential documents got soaked because her apartment was overwhelmed by the flood. So you find out that this one must have, a lady at that, must have gone to school, felt she had had a good opportunity to thrive in life. But even at an adult age, the impact of climate change met up with her on a part of education. You don't gather all the papers, you don't succeed already. But again, what you felt you have conquered came after you at the time you're supposed to be using your credentials. Now, this is a place. This is I think fortunately the current governor had directed that the construction will be done on this part, this particular spot of the road. This is a place in Ephraim local government, and I learned the school here is actually an all-female school, and we do not have access to school. I don't know if it's Loreto or something. Spring Road in Ephraim. Beautiful. Now, what do you think causes this? That road, as you can see, the other part is still patched with coal tar and all of that. That means the road must have been constructed before now. But as a result of flood, erosion, and all of that, the road was damaged, the bridge was damaged, and the student, the girl child, could not have access to school. And of course, we know that the girl child is already at disadvantage. I remember my grandmother, she died at the age of 104. But I know that for sure, it's only a male sibling that went to school. So how do we level up the numbers if things like this keep happening as a result of climate change? And then talking about disruption, can I talk without the microphone? Okay. Talking about the disruption of the learning environment. Do you think the people in this place, I mean the second school here, can actually have a comfortable and conducive learning environment? Is it possible? I don't think it is. I attended one of the very best schools in Akwa Ibom, Holy Family College, and throughout my learning days, we never had this. And we're still struggling. So imagine you find yourself in this kind of an environment, and you do not know how long it will take for this water to build up. So that means the students will lose their learning powers. Teachers will not go to school, and of course with the poor condition of teachers, the payment and the condition of teachers, it will be a veritable opportunity for teachers to have a very good excuse not to go to work. Teachers, I know you would love to enjoy us, you not love to relax. After all, the school has been flooded. So that means the student will lose their learning time, and of course it will speak or trickle down to their future. While their mates are already ahead of them, they will see how to recover the lost time, and then, of course, what that means. I talked about earlier on about fisher folks having to go fishing. That net you are seeing, we all know that the fishing nets are always very white, right? They are white, but that's fishing net they are carrying a result of what we do to the environment. This is someone corn plantation. And as you can see, do you think the person will recover anything from that lot? So, and this is a parent. He or she has children that she has to pay school fees for. Where do you think the fellow will take money to pay school fees? That means if he has 3 children, and of course in Nigeria we love having children, say 6, he or she may end up sending just one or 2 to school. We do hope that when this one comes out from school, he or she will help the family to sponsor the rest. Which in most cases, that do not happen. Because once I'm able to, stand out, I need to also survive. I need to procreate. I need to start my family too. And I have other responsibilities. So you find that the other of the children will suffer. And that means the education is being impaired. In the course of this conversation, I've talked about socioeconomic impact. People will lose their means of livelihood. And then, when this happens, you see that the poor will keep being poor. And it will boil down to hunger. I've talked about poverty, and then a whole lot of other aspects that are things that are really meet. Can I have another slide? Thank you. Adapt to climate change. How do you help the children adapt to climate change? But first, we must talk about academic curriculum. I know for sure that some school curriculum are still as archaic as it was years ago. Some of us still believe that this is how it used to be done. And if it used to be done this way, it should be done this way. So where then is the place of dynamism? Where then is the place of change? So first off, we should see how to integrate climate education into academic curriculum across all academic strata. I had an experience with some final year students. I won't mention the university, but students from the Faculty of Agriculture. I asked them, what do you understand by climate change? I mean, final year students that are about leaving the school. What do you understand by climate change? Okay, I didn't even say, I said, what is climate change? And the person was looking at me. They were a group of 3 boys. They were looking at me. I said, have you heard about climate change before? It was strange. I said, okay, have you heard about the SDG? And the SDG was even something bigger to them. And I felt very challenged. If students from the Faculty of Agriculture do not know about climate change, have not heard about climate change, what then happens? What are they being taught? What then happens to the academic curriculum? Because in agriculture, they have a two-way factor in agriculture. They contribute to climate change, and they also suffer from the impact of climate change. So if people in this critical faculty in the space do not know about it, what are they learning in school? So you find that integrating climate change into the academic curriculum is very important. So the place of climate education. And who do we begin with? The teachers. Remember, in my opening remark, I said that teachers are critical to the betterment of any society. So that means the people that will pass the message across to the younger generation, apart from the things we do in the development space, are the teachers. So teachers must understand the basics, the rudiments of climate change, and see how to incorporate this. So there should be a proper reform of the academic curriculum, so that the younger generation will have what to learn from place. Now, another place I think you should consider very important in adapting to climate change is the place of the community. Who suffers from the impact of climate change? The community. The people. This happens in people's community, right? So we must engage them. It's like what we do, what the government do. They will come to this place and feel like they should give this place water, whereas it will be their problem. May never be water. And that's why you have stranded water facilities scattered across the country. Because the people, the government did not care to sit with the people to dialogue, to ask questions. What is being the problem? What do you do? So there's a place of community engagement. You talk to the people. What used to happen? What was here before? How are you surviving? Or what do you think we can do for you to do better or cope. And then the place of infrastructural development. Remember in the last slide I talked about the Loreto school, the Spring Road, and then and currently infrastructural development is happening. The school is being rebuilt, the road is being rebuilt. So the place is a place of infrastructural development where these things are happening. I think last year there was a very serious, last year or this year there was a serious flood in the Niger Delta. And I remember one of those things I saw, Will of Jonathan finding it difficult to access the ancestral home. And roads were destroyed. And if I want to sound funny, I remember that sometime in Imo State, a governor was complaining that the moment he finished building roads, it will be washed up. So you remember now that roads will cleared up. So there's a place of solid infrastructures. We build for resilience. We build to adapt. So that whenever these things come, and the beautiful thing is that most of these things have their seasons. So you know when it's coming, and you prepare ahead for these seasons when they come. This is another slide. And then we have, like I mentioned, I talked about teachers training. So there should be a continuous training of teachers, retraining of teachers. And in teachers training, I think it's important that we have a step-down model. What do I mean? For those of you that are here, the knowledge you are gaining from me, there's something I find very appealing in Akwa Ibom. My boss here may know something and refuses to share with this man because he feels that the moment this man gets to know about it, it would not be relevant again. But I think we should do away with such mentality. So there should be a step-down model sort of, where all of you in this hall now learning or getting more information or the other, when leaving here, you find out that you hold a colleague that could not make it for this meeting. And just say, man, this is what we learned. So imagine all of us, about 50 of us in this hall, having that effect on the next 50 set of humans. And the next 50, that's 100, right? So you find out that there will be a very serious replacement. And the awareness will stem out from the teachers. And the knowledge will be like wildfire. People will know exactly what to do. So there's a place of partnership and innovation. Let me share this. Coming here, someone knew me to be doing this, or to be in the space of climate change. And then recommended me to Miss Ephraim. Miss Ephraim, I'd love you to have this man in your seminar. Miss Ephraim reached out. I did not refuse. You see the place of partnership. Someone recommended me. Miss Ephraim decided to partner with me, and I am here, delivering almost at no cost, apart from me paying my way to this place. So when you partner, you find out that what you would have struggled to do, or what you would have spent more money to do, you do it almost for free. And the result or the impact will be bigger, will be wider, will be broader. Because what you're rich, remember the Bible says, I think 1,000 will chase, one will chase 1,000, and then 2 will send 1,000 to flight, 10,000 to flight. Yeah, I'm happy you're a Bible student. So the place of partnership, it will even help innovation. Now let me talk about innovation. Do you know that your environment and the people you mingle with affect the way you think?
Absolutely.
And if it affects the way you think, that means it affects your ability to innovate. So if you find yourself partnering with the right set of humans, the right set of people, that means you'll be able to be quite innovative